Hello. I want to share some info with Horizon about some problems, unfortunately, that I've had lately with your products. I was just out last week, Randall. I called and left you a message right after it happened, but you took care of some things for me last year with the DX7 that I was having issues with and had lost a lot of planes, and we were able to narrow it down that after sending the transmitter in multiple times and still having planes go down, I finally got another radio from you guys and had hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of flights on it, never with another issue. So I do believe it was actual product related. The other day flying this Yak, it's a new Yak, I'll show you why I'd even purchased it, was because of a problem with another Horizon product. But anyway, I was flying this the other day and battery's good. It's 5.2 or 5.1 it's reading now. Is playing on the simulator a little bit, but battery in the transmitter was absolutely fine. It had been fully charged. I've got my model number that I had gone through, or my info, to see if I was one of the models affected by the recall, and I didn't see any information. I have had hundreds of flights with this radio, and I hadn't had an issue before. It's never been dropped. Let me show you. It's still all clean and everything. I'm about as crazy as far as checking things as anyone I've ever seen. I don't know anybody else that uses a flight log and does stuff, and I thank you for some of your help in those areas in the past, but I'm about as diligent as they get. Yes, I have crashes that are my fault, but this isn't an example of that. But anyway, here's, you can see my radio. It's very well cared for. Probably put it right here. Anyway, so I was flying this the other day, and I happened to be flying in pattern. I fly at Pomona Valley Model Airplane Club, and going past the runway area, it just started doing weird stuff, is the only way I could say. I didn't have control of the model. I had only been up for about a minute or so, and my battery is a brand new battery. I have a receipt for it. It's a 40C, 4-cell, or was, and had a few flights in an E-flite Pogo, and other than that, it's only flown in this. On the crash, I didn't have any receiver stuff that I could show you because my battery got ejected. I had it velcroed down nice and tight and even a little strap around it, but it ended up getting ejected. As soon as the plane started behaving strange, I mean, it was obvious I didn't have control of it. I, tried to do what I could as far as trying to bring it down, and it was like, it was almost like an interference thing where I'd have control for a second and then I wouldn't. My ESC and everything is correct for this. The 60 amp ESC, but it got all tweaked. All the stuff got tweaked on it. My motor is trashed. Nice size motor in that. Let's see, maybe if I bring it around this way, it ended up going straight in, but it wasn't like I was overcorrecting, going every, I can fly planes. But I absolutely, all the things in the forums that I read, as far as what things we're doing with the hold block or whatever seems to be going on lately, that's what it seemed like I experienced. So this is something I do not consider my fault whatsoever, and I would appreciate a similar plane, complete, ready to go. And I'm really pretty adamant about wanting that. I want to show you what even led me to the purchase of this plane. Was my extra 260. and not finding parts for it yet, but I'll get them. But what happened? Set it back. Here's my extra 260, and a few weeks ago, in flight, and this, by the way, is a newer model, but this plane in flight, and funny thing is I had checked, I made sure everything was secure here with the magnets and secure fit and all that good stuff, but kind of to prove my piloting skills, what happened in flight, I was flipping around and doing stuff like that, but I happened to be level at the time and had some speed, and in flight my canopy flew off, and as you can see I have a cheater hole and everything, but the canopy literally flew off in flight. It hit the rudder, took out the rudder, and I watched that float down. My plane was still up in the air, and as it hit here, I guess it fell this way, and it broke my elevator. And so I only had half an elevator. But as you can see, the plane is still in one piece, landing gear's fine and everything. So I landed this just fine with that. So that should tell you a little bit about my piloting skills. I actually even had to turn it around and get it back. And I got it down, and I guess the only thing that needs to be fixed on this plane is it needs a new rudder and elevator. Other than that, it's fine. I didn't contact you on this. The canopy blew off. I didn't know if you cover stuff like that. But on the yak behind it, you can see I have a yellow strap. I've gone to, ever since this happened, on all my planes, regardless of whether they have a latch or they have magnets, I now strap the back. So that was lesson learned there. Another recent problem I've had with the Horizon product is my Pogo. And nice plane, by the way. But what was weird is I was flying this, and this also takes that 4-cell 3000. And as you can see, this plane is in good shape, other than right here. And what happened with this one was I was going in for a landing, and as I came in, I landed hot so that it doesn't tip stall. So anyway, I went to land it, and literally the bolt that went in here sheared. Like, the bolt broke. Wheel went flying off. It hit. There was a little bit of wind that day. It hit. Wind blew it over. And as you can see, the canopy area got kind of destroyed, and did a whole bunch of damage up here and then on the tail because of being upside down. Now I can put the wheel back on, and you can see even on the wheel maybe some weirdness in that hub. It's all, the metal's kind of funky in there. And then here's the other end. But I don't know. I didn't contact you guys on either the Extra or the Pogo. I don't know whether bolts can or should actually fail, but this hadn't had a lot of flights on it. It had a bit. But, oh, and the other thing that happened when it did that is the tail broke apart right here when it was upside down there. But everything's still working after I glued it. I haven't put the wheel back on yet. But again, is this something that somebody should have to deal with on a landing, having a bolt break in the first handful of flights? And it wasn't like a crash landing that I had. It was just, landing it fast so it wouldn't tip stall. So anyway, that's some stuff that's happened lately. I'm hoping that you guys will do the right thing and take care of me, and I'm about to send this video to Randall Stein. Thank you. Hope this came out. Something I forgot to mention, I just came back, grabbed my flight box. When I was flying the Yak, another thing, even though I was only up a couple minutes, and I typically get 7-8 minute flight times, and I use timers, everything's set automatically on my radio. I usually only keep it at 5 minutes, even though it'll stay like 6-7. And just to show that, let me show you my radio is actually programmed. So as soon as I hit the throttle, it does do that, and I have that on all my models. By the way, thank you for that, Horizon. I do love that feature. I just, I want to be able to trust my equipment. The receiver, by the way, I didn't mention, was one that I got from you guys before when I was having all those problems, and it was a 6200 with satellite. I couldn't check any of the lights though because of the battery ejecting, but also I was flying with a LiPo alarm, as I do often, and the other thing that I do before and after each flight is I have my battery checker that'll check each cell. And this is my normal flight box, just so you can see, I keep my regular meter here. I have my temperature sensor. I have that in with my tools right below right now. But you can see all my batteries, good condition. I keep everything nice. The only batteries that go in here are ones that have been charged for flight. I also do stuff like use my servo tester to make sure I'm not pulling too much juice. So in other words, I'm doing about as much due diligence as I can think of. And here, in fact, is tools and props, and you can see I even have, I always am reading temperatures on things. So I can't, I'd be stupid to say I do more than anybody out there, but I guess at our field I do, and we're the second largest in the country. So anyway, again, I'm hoping you're going to take care of me the right way. So thank you, Horizon.